Hey guys, this is Trey with Squeegee Squad of Tulsa. Today we're going to be talking about insurance, which I know everybody loves to talk about. It's one of the banes of my existence as somebody operating a business, but it is necessary for a lot of different reasons. We really want to talk today about what fully insured looks like versus the hope nothing happens approach, the pros and cons of both, and basically make sure that you're asking your window cleaners which one they are. Whenever a contractor says that they're fully insured, you can assume a lot of different things from that, but we want to be really clear about what that actually looks like in today's commercial landscape. This doesn't just apply to window cleaning. This is really across the board for most contractors that you have doing service on HVAC, any other service that you have that relates to your building. So fully insured, whenever we're looking at that, it's some main categories. So general liability coverage, we carry $2 million in general liability coverage. That sets the industry standard for here. I'm not aware of any other company that has that level of general liability, so I'd say that we set the bar in that area. Next is going to be workman's comp insurance, which if you have employees working for you, you have to have workman's comp because if somebody gets hurt, they've got to be taken care of. This is actually an area where a lot of people do tend to skimp out on, though, unfortunately. Next is going to be vehicle coverage. So you got guys working on your building. They're covered if something happens up there. What happens if their car blows up while it's in your parking garage, right? Or they have a wreck while they're on your property. Extreme examples, but if those vehicles aren't covered under the policy, it can potentially lead to liability for other people. Last is going to be an umbrella or an excess policy. In recent years, this has become much more common for people to request. Obviously, that umbrella or excess policy kind of covers everything that's not in all those other policies combined, but it's an added layer of protection, and if somebody has that, you can know that they're definitely fully insured along with the three other ones we mentioned before. On the other hand, we have the category of people who tend to either be underinsured or they carry a policy as long as it takes to get the job, and then they will drop said policy. This is actually a pretty common practice just nationwide with any kind of contractor. You'll see people get a policy for this job, and then as soon as it's done, it goes away. Or as soon as they even get the job before they start it, they'll cancel it. What does this actually mean, whether they are carrying that policy for the short term or they're not carrying a policy that has a large enough amount of money coverage on it? It transfers the liability to the building owner and the management. Because as soon as something goes wrong or something happens, lawyers get involved, all that kind of stuff. If those policies aren't enough to cover whatever has happened, they're immediately going to go for the next biggest fish to try and go reclaim that compensation. Whether it's somebody's family after an employee gets hurt, damage to the building a tenant gets angry about. There's a whole myriad of issues that can happen whenever you don't have proper insurance or you're not carrying a policy whenever you're actually doing the work. And it all boils down to it's taking that liability right back to you, the customer. So why is it important to talk about insurance? Because of the realities of what can actually happen whenever commercial window cleaning is occurring. There's a whole range of potential damage and injuries that can happen. The most common things that we see from property damage is either broken or scratched glass. That's pretty common. You can have water leaks that present themselves during window cleaning, especially if those windows don't have a lot of pressure on them. It will typically reveal water leaks around the seals of the windows. And then just also facade damage that can happen, especially if you have some kind of facade on your building that's not hard like concrete or brick. You can get scuff marks on there. If it's something that's kind of flimsy, it can actually chip away at things like not insulation, but basically like foam padding almost. So there's a whole lot of different kinds of property damage that can happen. From an injury standpoint, slips, falls, you name it, something dropping off of a ladder, hitting somebody in the head, all those things along with the property damage, all it takes is one incident, right? And as soon as you have that one incident, if a company is not insured properly, everything hits the fan all at once and it's not fun for anybody involved. An underinsured company is an unprofessional company. If a company is not willing to put the time, effort, and resources into having the proper insurance to make sure that not only are they covered, but you're also protected, you should not be using them on your building. Professionals invest in that kind of stuff. They want to make sure that if there is some kind of property damage or if there is an injury, that the employee is going to be taken care of, the company will also be taken care of, and you, the property manager or business owner, can rest knowing that an attorney is not going to turn right back around and come to you with a lawsuit. So that's really a big differentiator, I would say. We talk all the time about work quality, safety, and everything else. If somebody's not properly insured, don't let them on your property, because as soon as you do, you're opening yourself up to a range of liability, and you never know when that one thing is going to happen that triggers it. So if you guys would like to get information on the coverage that we have, or if you have other questions just about your building, please give us a call. Go to our website, www.squeegeesquadtulsa.com. Fill out a form. Phone number's on there. We always respond within 24 hours. Hope to see you there soon. Have a good day.